Retirement is supposed to be a soft landing. For me, it felt like being pushed out of a plane and told to enjoy the view. My name is Margaret Sullivan, 58, recently divorced, fresh out of 32 years teaching high school English to teenagers who thought Shakespeare was a protein shake. 3 months in, I was talking to my cat more than humans. Mr. Darcy, yes, I named him after Jane Austen, was a terrible conversationalist. The flyer appeared under my windshield wiper, walking pickleball for active adults, 55 plus, all skill levels welcome. I didn't know what walking pickleball was, but there was that word, welcome. The gym smelled like lemon disinfectant and broken dreams. 12 women in matching visors clustered near the court. I stood at the edge holding my borrowed paddle like a tourist with a phrase book. That's when I saw Carol. Silver-haired, sharp-featured, posture like a flagpole, she moved through the group like a general inspecting troops.
Well, hello, I'm Carol Henderson. I run our little group here.
Her handshake felt like a contract I hadn't read. Margaret Sullivan, I've never actually played pickleball before, or after, for that matter.
Oh, honey, none of us knew what we were doing when we started.
She turned to the group, voice carrying like a Broadway star.
Everyone, this is Margaret. She's a retired English teacher. Isn't that lovely?
I should have noticed how she framed it, something useful that reflected well on her for recruiting. But I was too grateful to see the calculation, like a moth admiring the light before getting zapped. For the first month, everything felt easy. Carol ran everything, sign-ups, group texts, snack rotation. She could turn a folding chair into a throne. I learned the rules. Linda brought orange slices, Diane complained about her knees but never missed a game, Patricia claimed the fan bench, and God help you if you sat there first. I made that mistake once. Carol knew everyone's birthday, she remembered whose grandchildren were visiting, she made you feel seen. For someone invisible except to her judgmental cat, that was intoxicating. Then Amber arrived. Mid-50s, sun-streaked ponytail, natural athleticism that made us suddenly aware of our posture. During a water break, she approached me.
Carol mentioned you taught high school. That must have been intense.
32 years of teenagers, it builds character or destroys it, still in arbitration.
Hey, can I ask, your paddle grip is different. Could you show me?
I adjusted her grip, explained the angle. She was a quick study. Keep your weight forward, and try not to look like you're swatting a wasp. That's my technique, not yours.
Ah, that's so much clearer than...
She stopped. Carol was watching from across the court, not moving, just watching with a smile that had all the warmth of a refrigerator manual. 3 seconds, but I felt the temperature shift. The next week, signs appeared. Carol paired me with Janet, whose relationship with the ball was complicated. Amber got Linda, one of the strongest players. Should we rotate partners more, mix skill levels?
We've always done it this way, honey.
Honey, a verbal pat that felt like a slap. At lunch, I approached our table. Carol saw me coming. She reached down and placed her gym bag on the empty chair. Is this seat taken?
Saving it for Linda. There's space over there, though.
Over there was empty, a table for 6 with no one. The social equivalent of Siberia, except with worse lighting. Right, sure, I'll just enjoy my exile. I sat alone, my sandwich tasted like cardboard and humiliation, a flavor I hadn't experienced since my divorce lawyer's office. Linda arrived and sat on Carol's other side, the saved chair remained empty. Small things stacked up. My name left off assignments, group chat messages that stopped just short of including me, jokes that ended when I returned. 3 weeks later, Carol announced,
Brunch this Saturday, Sage and Time Cafe, just our regulars keeping it cozy.
I raised my hand. Should I make a reservation for one more? Silence.
Oh, Margaret, we're keeping it really small. Space limitations, but definitely next time.
Next time, that promise that lives with let's do lunch and I'll call you. Nobody met my eyes, nobody questioned the line between regulars and whatever I was. I drove home in silence. At a red light, I caught my reflection. What did I do? And then the answer came, nothing. The problem wasn't my behavior, it was my presence itself. I had been noticed by someone Carol wanted to control. That night, I sat with tea I didn't drink while Mr. Darcy judged me. Don't look at me like that, at least I'm trying. I'd seen this before, different ages, same dynamics, the popular girl who turns the group against someone who becomes too independent. Carol wasn't a bully, she was an architect of invisible walls. I had a choice, quit or refuse to disappear. The next Tuesday, I showed up. Carol's smile faltered when she realized I wasn't going to make this easy. I didn't quit. Quitting would have proven Carol's story true, that I didn't fit, that I'd drift away, so I kept showing up. Same sneakers, definitely not designed for athletics. Same hello I practiced in my car like a lunatic. Being iced out forces you to watch. I became an observer by default. 30 years of teaching teenagers prepared me for this. Carol ruled by organizing. She held the keys. Who played with whom, which restaurants were safe, who got good time slots. Information was currency. Approval was reward. Exclusion was punishment. It was like the mafia, but with more visors. The others weren't cruel. They were careful. They knew the price of noticing. During boundary taping, I suggested rotating partners more. Silence. Eyes darted to Carol.
Honey, we've always done it this way.
Everyone returned to tasks, relieved. The suggestion died. If I fought directly, she'd win. She had numbers, habit, the group chat, so I looked for cracks. It came from Lisa, quiet woman who folded chairs like apologizing to them. The kind Carol barely acknowledged except for cleanup duty. One morning, waiting for gym doors, she stood beside me.
It's not just you.
Narrator. She stared at the lock.
When I first joined, Carol didn't like me either. I played tennis in college, Division II. I knew how to move on a court.
What happened?
She paired me with beginners, told others I was too competitive. So I started missing shots, on purpose. I pretended I was bad because it was easier than eating alone.
The gym doors opened. Lisa slipped inside. Carol didn't create cruelty. She weaponized the fear of isolation. That afternoon, I watched Carol differently. She greeted everyone with warmth. Remembered Patricia's daughter's surgery. Complimented Linda's paddle, but underneath, I saw loneliness. How she held conversations too long. How her smile brightened desperately when people laughed. How she positioned herself at every center. She wasn't cruel. She was terrified of losing power. After class, I saw her in her car. Alone. Phone to air. Crying. I felt something dangerous, pity, but then I remembered Lisa. The empty chair. My exile sandwich. Loneliness explains a person. But it doesn't excuse harm. That night, I made a plan, not dramatic. Something quiet. I was going to build something Carol couldn't control. Mr. Darcy, I'm starting a revolution. A quiet one. Next Tuesday, I arrived early. Lisa was setting up chairs. Lisa. I've been thinking about what you said.
I shouldn't have told you.
She can't punish honesty. Not if we stop letting her. I'm just asking you to stop pretending you're bad at pickleball.
But
What can she actually do? Give us the silent treatment? Been there. Have the scars. Long silence.
I'm tired of missing shots on purpose.
Then stop. That morning, Lisa moved differently. Fluidly. Confidently. After the session, I said loud enough for others. Great playing, Lisa. That backhand was textbook. Lisa's eyes went wide. But she didn't apologize.
Thanks.
Carol watched from across the gym. Her smile shifted. The game had changed. I recruited quietly, like offering a tissue to someone trying not to cry. First was Amber. After class, While Carol lectured about court shoes, I approached her. Coffee? My treat, unless you're anti-coffee, in which case, emotional support? At the cafe, Amber stirred her latte like it had offended her.
Carol told me you don't follow directions, that you correct people.
Did I correct you?
Number. You're the only one who explained without making me feel like I'm failing at a sport named after a condiment.
Amber leaned forward.
Carol says weird stuff about everyone. Little cuts. She told me Patricia was sensitive about her weight right before I was going to ask her to partner. Said Linda gets jealous easily when Linda wasn't even there.
That's how she keeps control, makes everyone afraid of each other.
So what do we do?
We stop making it easy, we just choose who we listen to, who we trust, who we eat lunch with.
I can do that.
Next was Denise, who wiped down equipment and never spoke unless asked. I've noticed you get quiet when Carol walks over.
Last year I won the tournament. She told people I was showing off. I stopped coming for a month.
That wasn't your fault, it was her fear.
What are you planning?
Quiet resistance, together.
I'm in.
By the third week, Amber, Denise, Lisa, me, then Marcia and Nita. 6 women who weren't rebels, just unwilling to be managed anymore. We simply started doing ordinary things on purpose, arrived together, stretched together, chose partners together. At lunch Thursday, Carol pointed to the usual restaurant.
Rita, you're Rita's Diner. Everyone.
I'm craving salads. Anyone else?
Hands went up.
We always go to Rita's.
We can split up, like adults who make choices.
We went, 6 women eating without watching Carol's face for permission. It tasted like freedom and lemon vinaigrette. Later, Carol cornered me at the water fountain.
You're making little groups.
I'm making friends.
Be careful. Some people are dramatic.
We're here to play pickleball, not star in a reality show. Something flickered in her expression, panic, grief. She walked away. That week, I saw Carol in her car again, crying. I knocked before I could stop myself. She rolled the window down an inch.
What?
Are you okay?
My son won't answer my calls. He says I always have to be in control.
When she finished,
This group is all I have.
then we should make it a group that doesn't require hurting people to keep it.
So you are threatening me?
No, I'm refusing to disappear. I walked away, hands shaking. Empathy isn't surrender. Power hates daylight. The moment came at Saturday clinic for the charity tournament. Carol stood center court, clipboard ready.
Teams for next month. I'll set the lineup like always.
I raised my hand. Why do you set it alone? The gym went quiet.
Because I always do it.
That's not the same as should. I always eat ice cream for breakfast, but that doesn't make it optimal.
I'd like to partner with Denise this year.
Me too.
And I have preferences about match times, grandkid duty.
One by one, voices existed.
This is getting complicated.
Democracy is. Welcome to collective decision-making, Patricia, Carol's satellite, murmured.
I've wanted to say something too. But I was scared of sitting alone at lunch.
Fine, vote, but don't blame me when it's a mess.
We discussed preferences openly. Messy. Democratic. Human. Carol sat on the sidelines watching her clipboard become obsolete.
Carol, who do you want to partner with?
Carol looked startled.
I don't know. Who needs a partner?
I do, if you want.
Okay, yeah.
Just like that, Carol became one of us. At lunch, Carol announced by reflex.
Rita's Diner.
Can we poll? We're adults.
We voted. Tie won. Carol followed quietly. A person in a group instead of the person leading it. At the restaurant, conversation flowed without Carol as center. When Marcia mentioned her granddaughter's soccer game, Carol didn't redirect. She asked questions. Listened. When Amber talked about a recipe struggle, Carol said,
That sounds frustrating. I burned pasta last week.
2 people looked at each other, shocked.
It's just nice talking like this.
But the real shift came Thursday. Paula stood up during water break.
I want to say something. I remember when Denise won the tournament, and what happened after.
Carol went still.
Carol told us Denise was showing off, and I believed it. Because Carol said it. I was part of making you feel you had to hide how good you were.
Paula's voice cracked.
Carol did the same to me last spring. When I suggested doubles tournaments, she told people I was trying to take over.
Carol looked around. No one rescued her.
I didn't mean.
Maybe not, but that's how it felt.
Long silence.
You're right, I did that. To Denise, to Paula, to a lot of people. I told myself I was protecting the group, but really I was just scared. Scared that if I wasn't needed, I wouldn't matter.
Tears ran down her face.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
After class, Carol sat on her usual bench. That was brave.
It felt like dying.
Sometimes those are the same thing.
This is what you wanted, for me to fall apart.
No. I wanted a group where nobody gets erased. Where leadership is shared, not hoarded.
Where do I fit?
Wherever you want. As long as you're one of us, not above us.
I don't know how to do that.
None of us do at first. We learn together. Kindness doesn't mean letting someone keep the knife. We can rebuild. But not on the same foundation.
What if I mess up again?
You will. The difference is whether we acknowledge it or defend it. Carol stood. Walked to the door. Stopped.
Thank you for not destroying me.
I didn't want you destroyed. I wanted you stopped.
Fair.
The doors closed. Not dramatic. Just final. 3 weeks passed without Carol. At first, her absence was loud. We second-guessed everything. But then we played, laughed, organized ourselves. The work Carol did alone was distributed among 6 people, lighter that way. Third Tuesday, a new woman arrived, Rachel, nervous, holding her paddle like it might explode. In the old system, Carol would have swooped in, made Rachel her project. But Lisa walked up instead.
Hi, I'm Lisa. Welcome. Have you played before?
A little. I'm terrible. I once hit myself in the face with the ball.
I pretended to be bad for a year, so you're ahead in the honesty department. Want me to show you basics?
And I watched the group absorb a new person without hierarchy, without gatekeeping. We'd changed what the group could become. That Saturday, I saw Carol at the grocery store, soup aisle, reading labels like they contained life's meaning. She looked thinner, older in a way makeup can't hide. I could have walked past, but the story I wanted wasn't one where power just changed hands. Carol. She looked up.
Margaret. Hi. I'm sorry. For everything. I was awful.
You were. I didn't soften it.
My therapist says I use control to avoid vulnerability. I cried in Target last week because I couldn't choose laundry detergent. Turns out when you've controlled everything, basic decisions become existential crises.
She swallowed.
My son finally called. We talked for 2 hours. He said he misses me but can't breathe when I'm managing everything.
Her eyes glistened.
Do you think I could come back?
Yes, but not as the boss, just Carol, one vote, one partner. She looked terrified.
I can try it.
That's all any of us can do. Next Tuesday, Carol arrived at 10, no clipboard, just a paddle and visible uncertainty. Paula waved.
Hey, you're back.
If that's okay.
It's okay.
Lisa approached.
Want to warm up together?
Are you sure?
Yeah, unless you're contagious.
Only with anxiety and overthinking.
Perfect. Same.
They played. Carol didn't give orders, just hit the ball back and forth. When Lisa made a great shot.
Wow, that was really good.
Thanks. I've been practicing.
During partner rotation, I held out my paddle. Want to play?
With you?
We're starting over, clean slate. On court, Carol just played. Gradually, her shoulders relaxed. She laughed when she missed. You're good at this when you're not thinking so hard.
I'm trying. It's harder than it sounds.
At lunch, we voted. Diner won. Carol didn't make a speech, just said,
Okay, read as it is.
At Rita's, Carol sat between Denise and Marcia, no head of the table anymore. Halfway through her sandwich.
Thank you for not destroying me.
I didn't want you destroyed, I wanted you stopped. There's a difference. Carol laughed. Small, embarrassed, real.
Can I ask, what was it like realizing you couldn't control everything?
Terrifying. Like everything I built my identity on crumbled, but also lighter. I didn't realize how much energy it took. It's like I've been holding my breath for years.
You're still necessary, just not in the same way.
We're glad you're here. Carol's eyes filled. She didn't hide the tears.
Me too.
2 months later, we played the charity tournament together. During a break, Carol sat beside me.
Why didn't you destroy me? You had every right.
Because that would have made me into what you were. I wanted a different story, one where people could change, where power could be shared.
My therapist says the people who have the most power to change us are the ones who refuse to punish us for being human.
You did the work, Carol. I just didn't get in the way. After the tournament, we went to dinner, 10 women who'd learned to share space and power. Denise stood with her glass.
A year ago, I almost quit. I felt small, like I had to hide being good. But someone refused to stay small, and that gave us permission to grow. To Margaret for refusing to disappear.
I didn't do it alone.
But you started it.
And thank you for showing me what real leadership looks like. Even when it meant holding up a mirror I didn't want to look into.
We clinked glasses. My revenge wasn't that Carol lost her throne. My revenge was that I never wanted one. My revenge was staying, speaking, refusing to be erased. My revenge was building something better and inviting everyone, even the person who hurt me, to be part of it. That's the kind of victory that lasts, not because it's loud, but because it changes the soil. 3 months later, I arrived to find Carol setting up nets with Rachel. Not organizing, just helping.
Morning, Margaret.
Morning. Simple, 2 people who'd been through something difficult and come out changed. We played, we laughed, we belonged to something we'd built together. That afternoon, Lisa caught up with me in the parking lot.
You changed my life.
You changed your own life.
You gave me permission. I got a job coaching tennis at the community college.
Lisa, that's wonderful.
I almost didn't apply, but then I thought about you, about how you showed up even when it was hard.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of us. We're kind of amazing when we're not busy being scared.
That night, I sat with tea. This time, I drank it. I'd gone looking for a place to belong. What I found was a reminder that belonging isn't something you find. It's something you build. I didn't set out to change a pickleball group. I set out to survive it with my dignity intact. But in refusing to shrink, I gave others permission to grow. And if a divorced English teacher and a pickleball group can figure that out on a Tuesday morning, maybe there's hope for the rest of us too. The following Tuesday, a new woman arrived, Kim, mid-60s, nervous. Carol walked over to welcome her.
Hi, I'm Carol. Welcome. Fair warning, we're all slightly chaotic.
I've never played before. Is that okay?
Completely okay. Last week I hit myself with my own paddle.
Kim laughed.
Want me to introduce you around?
That would be nice.
Come on, I'll show you who's who. Also, who brings the best snacks.
As Carol led Kim away, she caught my eye, gave me a small smile. Not performative, real. The smile of someone who'd learned that leadership isn't about being indispensable. It's about making space. I picked up my paddle and walked onto the court. The game was waiting. And I was ready to play.